because I need this out of my brain.
You don't have the brain power for this.
You don't need a crystal ball to tell you how Collin feels about this upcoming film. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Rabbit Troop, son.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're drunk.
Well, we're a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked films. And hey, everybody. It's, towards the end of December. We're going to get a little merry, a little Christmassy. And as always, I'm your host, Paul. Next to me is my co-host, Mike.
Hello.
Next to Mike is Collin.
Yo.
Collin is sitting next to Jeremy.
Yo.
And Jeremy is next to La-Mar.
Hello.
And hey, we're going to do, by request today, 2005, the Gingerdead Man.
God help us.
I want to note very quickly that the request came from one of my oldest friends, Paul. Jeremy knows Paul. We all went to high school. Hi, Paul. So we all went to high school together, and our friend Paul said, you guys should do this movie. And he was very clear about the fact that he had never seen this. And I love this fact, especially knowing from the request from where it came. So
has anyone in this room seen this?
No.
Did any of us see this?
No. So
I have seen this movie before. I watched it for this podcast.
Oh, God help you.
Were you aware
God
of this?
help
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was aware of this because it came out in 2005 when I was working at the movie store, and it came out with another movie called Santa's Sleigh.
Santa's
and
Sleigh
there
is
were
amazing.
Yeah, big fans in this room.
And so there was a handful, and the Jack Frost thing. I think those are all kind of in the same vein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I have now seen this movie twice.
I'm sorry.
Were you aware that you... No, not of its existence.
Yeah,
were you aware that you had seen this before?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, the best part about this movie, though, is the fact that it's an hour and 10 minutes long.
This movie is an hour and 10 minutes. So let me tell you...
And it still feels so long.
Let me tell you a little bit about this film. First of all, we got director Charles Band, who we covered a movie by Charles Band once, Trancers. I'm sorry.
Trancers, yeah.
Yeah, we covered Trancers, which I'm still willing to go back to Trancers Part 2. There's a whole Trancers franchise. So
He did all the Puppet Masters, too.
all of them?
Well, a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, this guy's got himself into a lot of franchises. Collin will break down the splinter franchises from the Gingerdead Man series, which is like many, to note this. But let me open up a little bit about this. So our friend Paul told us to watch this. I have no regrets, especially knowing this movie is a train wreck and a half, and I hope he had fun watching this, and it gets us a little more into the season. According to IMDb, an evil yet adorable gingerbread man comes to life with the soul of a convicted killer. This real-life cookie monster wreaks havoc on the girl who sent the killer to the electric chair. And your main star, who wants to announce our main star? It's not Jimmy Dean.
It's Gary Busey.
Gary Busey stars as Millard.
Gary Busey, the actor, was in this movie for 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's correct.
They had Gary Busey for an afternoon. And they're like, we're gonna film you for a couple seconds, so you don't have to change costumes.
Gary Busey as Millard Findlemeyer.
Finkel? Isn't it Finkel something?
He does look like a
Findlemeyer.
Findle, yeah.
He's still got voice acting checks, so
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
He does have some voice
still
acting
in
in this
there.
movie.
I
want to, before you begin, though, this Charles Brand guy, so I want you guys to think about, like, when you film a movie, you're a director of a movie, like, you have to write a script, you have to do some storyboarding, then you get, like, costume designers, whatever it is. But think about the time that it takes to film, like, a typical movie. Charles Brand has directed 85 fucking movies, dude. Like, how is that even possible? That's like multiple movies per.
Okay, wait.
No, he's filming them in real time.
Yeah,
this movie took an hour and 10 minutes to film.
Well, so I'm going to give you the Owen Wilson reply.
Wow.
Well, not in his voice. I'm going to use an Owen Wilson character, and I think Mike will be able to spot where it's coming from. Your thesis is positing what if... you're positing a director should have a storyboard, a script, a semblance of ideas and characters. And my thesis is, What if you don't?
What Gingerbread Man presupposes.
And here we go.
What if it didn't?
Yeah, and so I think you're seeing the proof in the pudding. Ha ha. That's right. Is that you don't need any of those things. It seemed I could pinpoint that Gary Busey had a contract for 48 hours. It was, we're going to film you in a diner scene, and that's probably a full day. And I'm going to put you in a studio, and you're going to say these written lines.
Yeah, if that diner scene took a day to shoot.
Took
Like
10
they
minutes.
probably walked in there with a camera, filmed some shit, and then walked out.
How about this? I bet he was like, I'm not doing this all in a day. You're going to pay me extra money, and it's going to be 2 days. Like, I'm not rushing this. Some trivia that was about Home Alone. It's on the Movies That Made Us on Netflix. Was basically John Hughes called in a favor to John Candy. So John Candy's cameo in Home Alone, which P.S. is amazing, was really just like a side deal, and it was a 24-hour contract. And the people on that documentary said John Candy worked all 24 of those hours. Like John Hughes like worked him to the bone on this. Like they were like, you could tell how regretful John Candy was by the end of filming all of this. But apparently he was still like the nicest dude in the world.
He didn't take a fee for it either.
Yeah, I think it was all just like, I could pay you the lowest, like $100.
Yeah, it was like union minimum or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, he didn't take his rate for it.
Seems like a lot to just film all that.
He was having the time of his life.
Another side John Candy piece of trivia with John Hughes is in National Lampoon's Vacation, John Candy's cameo was $1 million.
Wow.
It was they filmed the movie, and then they went back and filmed the actual park scenes, which were not originally in there, and they got John Candy for $1 million, which I'm sure was a lot of money, and is probably multiple millions now.
What do you think they paid Gary Busey for this?
Cocaine.
Yeah, all the gingerbread men he eats.
You get to keep the cookies at the end of it.
Yeah. I don't know that he knows the director. The director seems like a cool dude, as Jeremy said. He's doing weird 80 movies at a time.
Like he has a lot of fun.
I mean, a lot of the same people have worked with him. The dude who's the lead in Trancers, like, is in 5 of the 6 Trancers.
Yeah.
I like his evil bong series. Apparently he's just jumping off the
Colin, do you want to jump
rails.
into these Splinter movies from the get-go?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, there's the Gingerdead Man. There's the Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust, the Gingerdead Man 3. I forgot the Saturday Night Cleaver. Then there's the Gingerdead Man versus the Evil Bong. Then there's the Gingerweed Man series, and I think there's a handful of those.
And this is a break off from the Evil Bong series starring Tommy Chong, if I'm not mistaken.
Your guess is good
I
as
like
mine.
how the Evil Bong series are labeled like 1 through 5, and then there's Evil Bong 666.
Oh,
Nice.
And
Wow,
Evil
yeah.
Bong 777.
Oh my God.
That takes
Wow.
place in Vegas, get it?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But however, in post-production, there's Evil Bong 888. I have no idea what the hell that could be. Where's this guy going?
Yeah.
So, so even if, this movie is as bad as it is, he made a career out of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it's impressive to direct 85 of anything in your lifetime is impressive.
He has his own universe, bigger than the Marvel universe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So he's got like the Puppet Master series. He's got like 5 different gingerbread-esque things that tie into one another. He's got the Trancers series. Like this guy is like one step away from his own network.
Yeah, he could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Charles,
Yeah,
I
they
wouldn't
should put
watch
this
it.
guy
Son of a
in
bitch.
charge of Marvel from here on out and see what happens.
I
What happens if you give this guy a $300 million per movie budget? You know,
That was the budget of this movie.
To be clear, I think this is the worst rated on IMDb movie that Rabbit Troop Sucks has done.
Really?
I'm
do
pretty sure
research
it's
on that,
definitely
but that
down
sounds
there.
right.
It's
What's
like
the rating?
it's like
I can
3.4.
agree with that.
Yikes.
Yeah.
this movie is a huge, huge train wreck. But I think a big redeemable quality of this film is it's an hour and 10 minutes. I'm like really not joking about that. That this story isn't like dragged on. Does it make sense? No. Do things happen? I guess.
They
It
could
takes
have cut
place
this to
in a
45.
diner for like 7 seconds, and then in a bakery for the rest
Yeah,
of
and
the
then
movie.
in or around the bakery. Yeah.
Well, it's an hour and 10 minutes, and the opening credits
Mike, I
sequence
totally say
is
this-
15 minutes long.
3 minutes.
Okay.
This guy knows what he's doing
Yeah.
with this movie. I gotta admit, the length does help the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of things that drag on every which way, and that is absolutely everything that I note here. That we're opening to the Cadillac?
The Cadillac Jacks.
Yeah, Jack's Hotel. There's a bunch of screams.
No, a diner.
Or a diner.
It's a diner.
Yeah, there's a bunch of screams.
The-
Well, we see the hotel. It's the diner adjacent to it.
Sure. This is the one good thing about this movie is that it does have a strong start. It just fucking
Hard start.
goes.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Not wasting any time.
I think in the first 3 seconds, Gary Busey shoots some chick in the face as he's
Yeah.
robbing a diner.
Boom.
Yeah.
There doesn't really seem to be a rhyme or reason. Like, there's a family hiding at a diner, and he is robbing it and taking money out and killing people.
Well, he shoots some lady at the counter eating soup, and then he shoots the father of the family.
The father.
The father.
Sorry, just a little foreshadowing for Colin.
Lamar's broken now.
Oh, damn it.
La-Mar knows all about the
I do. The fuck. All right.
And then he shoots the brother,
Yeah.
and then he starts
Well,
talking.
the brother gets
Talking real
he gets
weird.
talkity.
Yeah, the brother does get talkity.
Well, he's
Yeah.
enticing him. He shoots the dad, and the brother's a little upset, and
A little.
just a wee bit.
he's perturbed.
Yeah, like, well, this is not the lunch I was expecting.
Hey, come on, guys.
Do you think he tipped?
This is going to affect the rating that I give this diner on Yelp.
Yeah,
later.
totally.
Yeah.
I kind of read this a little bit differently. I kind of thought that Gary Busey was like, "Oh, I hear someone," and the brother stood up to kind of sacrifice himself for
So
the
sister didn't. Yeah, that's I think.
Yeah,
correct.
to give this a little bit of like, hey, you know what? They kind of had a little bit of direction, and something was almost kind of okay
Okay.
about this.
Yeah, but fundamentally, I don't know that we know why Gary Busey is in this diner shooting people.
Yeah, that's
I don't think that was.
We will
ever
never
brought
know.
up.
he needed
but he-
$20.
Well,
Yeah, he starts clowning. He's like, "Oh, I smell something feminine. You're a big sissy."
he
Lots-
starts calling him a little bitch.
yeah, lots of bitch talk about the brother.
This is in
super
2005.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so then he does shoot the brother.
After he
No,
stabs
he
him.
stabs him.
So he
Oh,
puts,
that's right. He does.
He puts
stab
the
him.
gun down. He's like, you should grab it and shoot me. And the brother's like, I'm going to be all tough, and does it. And Gary Busey whips out a knife and just stabs him repeatedly.
Doesn't he have a line here? Gary Busey's lines are mostly one-liners. In this movie.
I don't know. He calls
Yeah.
for the sister, which is really gross. He's like, here, kitty.
Yeah.
Oh, that was yeah.
I was like,
Line-
gross.
He,
lines
he
are
says
remi-
"kitty" too many times.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any times would have been too many, and he just went for it.
Yeah.
But he also starts kind of like talking to himself, like, "I'll spare the girl, but no, I have to honor my mother. I'm sorry, mother." Like, what the fuck is
Well, I think I put that together. So after watching this movie, so right now he starts having like this mental breakdown, and he's calling out for his mother. He's like, "Oh, like I've got to honor her." And in my heart, knowing that I've seen the movie, it is pure. He is on cocaine, and this is ad-libbed. This is nonsense.
So he wasn't given a script
that he
for
was
this.
pulling.
He's just
That
going.
he's pulling from the ether.
He was given
Yeah.
a script and he just ripped it in half. It's like, I'm doing it the Busey way.
Well, he
was
had to
pulling
honor his
lines
mother.
out of the air, like-
He's like, "Listen, Charles, I made promises, but listen, mother." And then it wasn't just donut dusting at that diner. It was a gravy train of drugs, friend.
Yeah, a gravy train with biscuit wheels.
of drugs.
But then he shoots at the sister.
Well, he had to honor his mother.
Well, obviously, unclear if he hit the,
Yeah.
the sister or not.
Right.
It looked like he shot right at her.
It did look like it.
He did.
Right, but I mean, at no point in the future of this movie, when we meet this person again, is there any indication that she
No.
was shot at some point?
No, she's not walking
She
with a
doesn't.
limp or anything.
Yeah, she doesn't bring it up. It's not like a plot point.
That's true.
In her contract, there was, I don't have any scars.
Yeah, no.
I'm just the hot piece.
Yeah, I'll wear the low-rise jeans all movie.
Yeah, crop tops.
Yeah, the crop top. But that's it.
I do have a random note about this movie that I just somehow saw like into this, beginning was the tagline on IMDb for this movie is "out of the oven and into your heart.
Yeah, what?
Well,
damn it.
truer words.
Did you even read the intro to what this movie is supposed to be?
Yeah,
Did we do that?
Didn't I?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You did.
Yeah.
I thought you did.
Yeah, it's something about a gingerdead man.
Yeah, okay.
An evil yet adorable gingerbread man.
Yeah,
Sure.
adorable.
Adorable.
The Gingerdead Man looks like a fucking cow patty that has come to life.
Oh, God.
So, God help me.
Oh, God.
I have like a real favorite moment of this movie.
Okay.
And so this girl, we find out, is the girl who was shot, like the surviving member over all of this family. Well, she lost her dad, she lost her brother. And her name is Sarah, and she's missing her family, and it turns out it's her brother's birthday. I don't really remember how this is known. But so she starts going...
I have notes about this.
So she starts going through some news clips, and it's highlighting like she was part of capturing this guy Millard and various other things. And you guys get out here in a second, but they're overdubbing some things that Millard, i.e. Gary Busey, was saying, and he makes a threat. He goes, I'll get you from beyond the grave. And he just randomly says that. And I've been thinking about that since I've seen this movie. And God damn it, that's my go-to for everyone now. Anytime someone wrongs me, I'm totally throwing it. I'm going to get you from beyond the grave. That is so effing serious. Like,
Yeah, there's no timeline to that. You can get him anytime
But
now.
the thing was, I don't think it was overdubbed when he was like executed. It was just like when he was captured. Like he went to that immediately.
That's his go-to line.
I know. Like that dude's a genius. Like if I get caught for anything, I'm going to promise all of you from beyond the grave. I'm coming from you from beyond the grave.
Well, it turns out
yeah.
the recipe is super fucking easy, so
Yeah.
why not?
Isn't
So,
Sure,
yeah.
do is something similar? Remember Shocker? Didn't he do something similar? Like,
remember
I'm gonna
Shocker.
come back.
You got it, baby.
Oh, that's what I mainly remember from Shocker.
Yeah. You take the electric cables from beyond the TV, and you get Mike going, yeah, baby. Someone from beyond, like, grant me this power to shock. And you got, baby.
You gotta plan these things ahead. You're gonna die. Make these threats now.
Yeah.
Don't wait
I
until
know.
you're there.
I'm like, I've been thinking about. I'm like, this guy was a genius from beyond the grave.
He knew.
You called Gary Busey a genius. I want you to note that.
I really thought about like modern day politicians. I thought about like what people say to like gotcha journalism, feud wars on social media. This guy is so ahead of his time. Like it's so small potatoes. This guy's like future forward. Like, dude, that's only in a lifetime. I will get you from beyond the grave is forever. Wow. I'm gonna get you from beyond the grave is forever is something I should write down, Mike. That should be a shirt.
Okay.
That's going to be a shirt.
I'll see what I
There
can
you
do.
go.
But yeah, so
Let me ask you this, though.
Yeah.
So, in the diner scene, this girl, she was a young girl, like maybe 6, 7 years old.
No, it was like
No,
it was like a week
much older.
prior.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, like, this is the one thing I like about this movie because, like, you know that she lives from this shot in the diner, and she's reminiscing on her brother. She's looking at these news articles, and within a literally 15-second period of time passing in this movie, we learn that this guy was captured, convicted, like executed. His remains were burned.
Wait.
We don't know that yet.
No. Jeremy, are you unaware that out of all of the franchises, this is part of the Judge Dredd franchise? He was tried, convicted, sentenced.
Yeah, Judge Dredd brought him in.
Turned into gingerbread immediately.
This is an hour and 10-minute movie. You have to economize your time here.
Your
That's what I'm
Judge, jury,
saying.
and
Like,
executioner.
within 15 seconds, because it literally explains how this guy comes to be. Well, it doesn't really explain it, but his remains get dumped in this like vat of dough.
I actually have a question about that. I don't know why they became in possession of the remains.
Well, a man
the
wearing a
remains were
cloak
sent to his
dropped it
mother.
off. Yeah.
So
And I think the mother, like, I don't know, somehow sent the remains to this bakery.
I think that's what's implied, is that the urn of the ashes is sent back home to the mother.
Yes.
And then they get this mysterious package on the door that's just labeled gingerbread.
But why would it be sent to the mother?
Well,
No, it was sent to their family bakery.
Okay, so let's we're conflating a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
here.
there's a lot of
let's take it scene by scene. So, girls at the bakery. It's her dead brother's birthday.
He would.
It's a real booze situation.
Yeah. So she's like, "Oh, bro, I hope they have strippers in Lone Star in heaven because you fucking love titty bars, bro."
Oh, and he was gonna turn 21 too.
He really did.
That was his big moment.
It's so fucking bad. It's so bad.
Oh god,
So
yeah.
nice.
So, and she's looking at news clippings of Findlemeyer, and that's where we get the exposition about him being captured. Then there's a knock at the door, and she opens it, and we see someone wearing a fucking cloak, like Frank Costanza's lawyer, walking away after having left a bucket of gingerbread seasoning.
No, it was a box.
A box of gingerbread seasoning. And then, in the next scene, someone is reading a newspaper article about Findlemeyer getting executed and how he was cremated and the ashes were sent to the mother.
But why?
His mother.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not their fucking mother. Findlemeyer's mother.
But during the scene was so confusing because they got the box and then there was a giant can or that was labeled gingerbread that they pour this box of gingerbread mix into.
Well, they were out of gingerbread seasoning.
Evidently, yeah.
It was good timing. If anything. Yeah. But next to the empty thing of gingerbread seasoning, there's also an empty bottle of Jack Daniels because this chick's mother is a fucking lush.
She's a booze hound.
Yeah, which isn't super important.
She's a hero to us all.
Yeah.
I am still uncertain why the cremated remains of Millard were sent to this bakery. Accidentally.
No, I mean, that's the whole crux of this movie.
Yeah.
They weren't sent to it accidentally. Someone brought them here deliberately. Presumably Findlemeyer's mother.
So there's like a 3-second scene of when she goes up. So someone knocks at the door. She gets all nervous. She's like, "Who is it? Go to the front entrance." She goes back there and answers the door anyway. And then there's a brief cut down the alley to someone in a dark cloak turning a corner. Yeah. So there's this mysterious package that's just labeled gingerbread mix that she brings in, opens up, and mixes in with all of her own stuff for no fucking reason. And I think the point is like the kind of assumption is that's like the mom or someone related to the family that puts the ashes or something into this mix so that they will for some reason make him into being.
It has to be the mother, I guess.
So the crazy thing is it clearly needs an ingredient and you need blood. And so Brick, which is one of the other baker assistants, helpers, I don't really know his role in this.
Oh, you mean Butcher Baker?
Yes.
Yeah. WWE.
Yeah. La-Mar, what do you think about his wrestling techniques? La-Mar loves wrestling.
He wouldn't make it.
No.
He is what we would call in the wrestling business a jobber. Just a string being.
Now, isn't jobber the origin of the word jabroni?
It is kind of, yes.
Nice.
There's a deep, rich history of that word and how it integrates into wrestling lore. But pretty much,
I was thinking about
jabroni, same thing.
When I hashtag things, I don't know if I really want to put jobber in one of our hashtags. So,
you don't want to
that
at all.
You definitely do.
Well, it depends on what you're looking for there.
Ginger man jobber.
Let's see what happens. Ginger jobbers.
If you're looking for ginger jobbers, we're open for that.
Yeah.
What can go wrong?
No, it'll be fine.
What can go wrong with a ginger jobber?
So this guy's name is Brick?
I think it's Brick.
I didn't pick up on that. He also mentions how much the brother loved strippers because they really want you to know.
They all know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I have him labeled as doofus.
I also have him labeled as
good. He's a doofus. Yeah. He's a doofus.
So I guess this was my confusion because this is matter of fact, but Brick is, opening this box and he's like, I need to put this into the gingerbread mix, and cuts his hand and he bleeds into the ashes of Millard.
Well, he cuts his hand somewhere separately and he's like, oh my God, how? And what's her name? Sarah's like, oh, let me help you. And they tend to the wound directly over an open box of seasoning.
And they use it all. And
it's a lot of blood, too.
Oh my God. So much blood.
So one of those. So ethically, I would have done the whole thing. This is super gross.
Yeah. This is not a good bakery.
It wasn't on their order manifest anyway, so it's just who cares? Just throw it away.
Yeah,
Also-
had they adhered to like hygiene policy, this movie would have never taken place.
Well, also, like, I mean, not that you're always going to taste every seasoning, but wouldn't you notice that your gingerbread seasoning doesn't smell like gingerbread and smells like burnt dead person?
Well, as La-Mar said, there's so much blood. Like, listen, I don't want to cut corners, and ethically they should dump it. Like,
Yeah.
But if there's a drop of blood, you might scoop a little out. There was
There's a lot of
huge
blood.
wound of blood going into this. It was alarming, and that dude probably needs stitches. So it's not just a little amount of blood; it's a lot of blood.
Well, she offers to go to the hospital with him to get stitches. He's like, nah, Butcher Baker's fine. I got to go to a wrestling match. Peace
Butcher
out.
Baker. That's
Yeah, and he wants to take her because he's infatuated with her.
Yeah. Well, she's not into that.
No one would be.
Next up, is this where we meet the drunk mother?
Yeah,
old woman.
she's shooting
Son, yeah,
shotguns
that
out
is
of
her.
There's a scream from one of many screams from the front of the house, and she goes out to the front of the house and she meets Julia.
Oh, is that the titty chick?
Yeah.
That's how I have. Okay.
Yeah.
The one who she
Who
might
you're
be
not
Hispanic.
She might be Hispanic. We're not sure because she
God.
does not talk with an accent, but then speaks Spanish
she says
periodically.
loco
Yeah.
every once in a while. Yeah.
Well, it was, she saw a lot of Taco Bell commercials.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was of the time.
That's where the terrible acting really kicks it up a notch.
Yeah.
Yes, holy shit.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And this is
Oh, my
where
God.
she narrates about Findlemeyer being cremated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the ashes being sent to
Yeah.
her mom.
Yeah, and immediately, like, clearly now we know that seasoning box was ashes.
Yep.
Obvs.
That's
Yeah.
the bad seasoning box.
Yeah. Why gingerbread, though? Was that his favorite?
Was it
That's true.
seasonal? Like
the holidays.
This is not a
could have
Christmas
been
movie at all.
a spring movie, and they're making gingerbread in the spring like a bunch of fucking
I
idiots.
didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, spring break's a holiday.
maybe she wanted him to come back to life as a human-shaped thing.
That's what I was thinking.
So, like,
you
that's-
can't do chocolate chip.
yeah,
man.
right. Yeah.
This is when we get to meet the rival of the bakery. Jimmy Dean rolls up.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Jimmy Dean and his daughter Lorna roll up, and he it's just like Mike said, and he's
well.
he's like, well, oh well, Sarah. And all I could think of is the accents they use from the state, La-Mar. Like, mighty fine, mighty fine. It was like, well, oh well, Sarah. Seems like your pie shop ain't doing so good, and I am gonna make you a brilliant offer. And I, like Lorna, goes, $50,000 goes a long way at Walmart.
I love that line. That was a sweet line.
And I was like, damn right it does. Like, what are we getting? We can have a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, he's positing that, like, with $50,000, like, you could just you and your mother could retire. You don't even need this bakery. That doesn't seem like.
Yes, evidently this movie took place in Waco in 1930. Like,
Because she is Miss Pretty Face Waco.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know if this is Waco or not. It is a small Texas town, I'm assuming.
Also, did anyone pick up on Sarah's last name?
I did not.
It's Sarah Lee.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
So this
bless
is
America.
I didn't know this is based on a true story.
Yeah,
though.
this is the origin story of all the Sarah Lee treats that you enjoy.
So you got a Jimmy Dean and a Sarah Lee in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on here?
Match made in heaven.
So our buddy Charles Band was in Target one day doing his grocery shopping. He's like, you know what? I'm going to use all these names.
That's exactly what it was.
Well, the thing is, the turning point of this movie, trying to get at some emotional pull, is Sarah realizes this offer might be her option, her only option. She's pretty sad. Things are down, or sales are down. She's down. Her mom's drinking all the time. She knows this like very directly. And I'm like, that's really sad. And this is what I wrote. We're 20 minutes into this movie, and there's a real lack of the Gingerdead Man. I was like,
You got get some gingerbread action going.
I don't have time for Sarah's antics. I want to see this. And so she takes this dough. I want to note right now, there is so much blood in the dough that it's half red. Like, if we're talking about cross-contamination, like, maybe you should be like, holy shit. Like, there's so much GD blood in this that this is just not good for anyone. But she rolls it out and takes this ginormous Like
a giant gingerbread.
Like I definitely know. I had to look at it for a while. I was like, this is definitely over a foot tall.
Oh,
This is
it
like
was big.
16, 18 inches. Like, this is crazy.
It was so big, she only made one.
one gingerbread cookie.
Then I just
Oh
know,
my
because
God,
I don't know
this
the
movie's so
terminology.
bad.
I don't know the terminology. I just wrote, then she puts it in the baking kiln.
Yo, what the fuck was
What-
this? It was like a
walk-in oven.
So like I googled walk-in oven. Evidently, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I thought it was like a refrigerator that they just put an orange light in and
That's
called
what it
good.
looked like, yeah.
No, I worked next to a.
Well, and there's a
bakery
lot
oven
of
like
shit
that.
that takes place in this oven throughout the course of the next
God,
45
yeah.
minutes.
Also,
Do you walk into these? Like, so
Yeah,
if it's
you
a
can walk
walk,
in.
I wouldn't. Fuck
I
that.
would never walk into an
There's
oven.
a door like that, and you can
No
just
way.
easily walk right in.
Yeah, but you don't, right?
You don't. Well, you do to load
She
in.
does, I
you put
guess.
all the bread on a rack, and then you just throw the rack in there.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, you can essentially just take a step in there.
So, okay, how big is this building that they're in?
That I made a note about that because when you show a shot of it at the beginning, and it looked really small.
From the
but
outside, it's a small
inside, It
storefront.
said like
A little mom
big
pop
factory.
bakery.
Yeah, but in the back, there are like kilns and
It's
walk-in ovens
clearly
and mixers.
Yeah, it's
Like, it's
two
big
different-
enough that people are screaming and getting murdered on one side, and you cannot hear it from the other side.
Well, I mean, I can answer this. I don't know the exact square footage, but I
Okay.
think the answer is, how big is Gary Busey's personal meth lab?
That's-
Is that where they
now-
filmed this?
Well, now
did.
you know the exact square footage in your mind.
Okay.
Colin, I like that. Oh, God.
Also, can we talk about how bad the music in this movie is?
I didn't even notice.
Did you not?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
It's
I
like,
didn't.
I noticed very little in this
Yeah, Mike,
movie.
I often write side music notes, and I don't even have
wow.
music.
Okay, well, I want you all to go back and watch this again.
No.
It's like if someone it's like if someone listened to like Home Alone, orchestral.
Okay, I remember it now.
And then they were like, now recreate this from memory on a Casio keyboard.
I did make
That
notes
is
that
what the soundtrack is.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this is kind of Home Alone-esque, except no, it's
It is
not.
fucking awful.
Wow. I think that's a good point.
Anyway, that's all I have for that.
So Brick leaves because Sarah's being mopey and he doesn't
Yeah.
want to deal with that anymore, so he bails. And then what's her name, Lorna?
Yeah. Lorna Dean
Shows up with a
She
rat.
shows up with a
Lorna.
rat. And the rat is the best actor in this movie by far.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she's trying to plant a rat so that they'll sell this place. Because Jimmy Dean's opening up a real schwanky-like restaurant across the street. And I don't want
An eatery.
my high-paying eatery customers looking at your shitty little bakery.
Well, I say,
say.
Sarah. Clock, Sarah.
Wait, so Sarah Lee, Jimmy Dean, Laura, is that supposed to be like Lorna Doone?
Ooh, shit,
Maybe.
yeah. Or whatever
I'm gonna
cookie
look this
brand
up
name
right
is.
now.
I
You're
thought-
probably right.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't catch on
The
that.
Jimmy Dean Empire.
Oh shit! And the bad boy,
Amos.
Amos Cadbury.
Yeah.
Amos, oh my god.
It's all fucking
It's coming together.
bullshit.
You were right, man. This guy just took everything off a Target
Yeah.
shelf and was like, these are the characters.
My favorite part about Amos, the guy we're going to meet
Damn.
soon, is that no one could quite agree on how to pronounce his name. I think Sarah insisted on calling him Amos.
Yep. And bake
girl.
sale customer. That's no.
I don't remember any of those bake sale customers, but there were a bunch in the credits.
So you're telling me is you get super high, and then you're like, oh wow, it is only noon. And then you go into 7-Eleven and you start making notes for a meeting that you're about to go into, and you're like, oh my god, there's these cookies, and then there's there's baked goods, and I'm gonna buy all of them, and I'm gonna throw them on a table with other bags of cocaine and tell these producers to be like, I've got this idea, but first you need to do this cocaine, and then we're going to sign this contract, and then I'm going to give you these baked goods. And thus this movie was born.
Okay.
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean that sounds reasonable.
That tracks.
But okay, so back to the best actor in the movie, the rat that Lorna Dean was planting. Sarah catches her planting the rat.
And she says $50,000 is too much for you.
Yeah, and then they have a pretty sexy cream pie fight.
Oh my God.
Pie to the face. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't.
Well, I mean, that's her first move. Like, you're trying to ruin my business, my reputation. I'm going to throw a pie at your face.
I don't see the problem.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
yeah.
But this pie fight continues into the back warehouse portion of the bakery,
Oh boy.
right into the circuit breaker.
Right, I just wrote electric weirdness.
There is electric weirdness.
Frankenstein to live.
Yeah.
That effect.
Yeah,
And now shit's alive.
Yeah, we see the Gingerdead Man coming alive. Millard is now Cookie Man, and
There's some CGI going on here.
Oh.
It is questionable.
is there is something happening.
Yeah.
And the overdubbing is just the worst. You hear what I assume is Gary Busey just walking around his house every day, like, God damn it!
They just put a microphone in his apartment.
Yeah, like they're gonna get it, and you don't know.
Well, as one, I don't remember which of the girls said this. What's that?
That was Lorna for sure.
Was it Lorna?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
okay.
Amos pops in and breaks him up. Oh, so Amos, some other random guy, out of nowhere.
I honestly, for the first 10 minutes that he was on screen, I thought this was the doofus from earlier.
Brick?
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was Brick.
Well, they
just
say
wearing
that.
a
They
bad
say
boy
that.
outfit.
They say that when all three of them are there, Lorna, Sarah, and Amos. Is it Amos?
Well, we don't know because they all pronounce it
I'm gonna say
differently.
Amos.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I'm gonna say
Amos cookies.
Amos.
Yeah.
Famous Amos Cadbury.
They're like, it's Brick's. Brick is playing pranks. Like he's known for this. So this is what's happening. And Lorna believes immediately that it's black magic.
Yeah,
So
she buys
that
in right away.
Yeah, that takes. I just wrote Lorna believes it's black magic, and I just wrote nice.
Nice. Well, she wonders aloud and panicked, what is this? And
It's black magic.
and
I think
well
it's pretty solid.
and what does the gingerbread, the Gingerdead Man say? No one.
It was like, it's not
Well,
the fucking Pillsbury
it sure ain't
Doughboy.
the Pillsbury fucking Doughboy.
Pillsbury Doughboy. Gary Busey sounds.
I love the writing in this scene because when Amos comes in, he absolutely accurately assesses the situation from like a real world perspective where like everything is fucking bullshit. This is nothing is going on right now.
To his
And then
credit,
Lorna, with the exact same amount of accuracy in world, says exactly what's going on. And it's amazing.
I like his assessment of it because she explains what's happening. He's like, "Okay, we got to capture this thing."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, we got to kill it." He's like,
he says-
"We're taking it to fuck." If,
He says,
if you're
"How-
right, we're taking it to
It
Leno."
says, how much money can you make off a
no,
talking cookie?
He says, "How much dough?"
Got him.
Because you got to have puns. This movie, 90% of it is a pun from here on out.
That's how Gary Busey's career got started. He brought in a Gingerdead Man to a producer, and he's like, "This thing's alive." And they're like, "You're hired. You're hired, buddy."
Was Gary Busey ever a good, respected actor? Like, did anyone ever like this guy?
Point Break.
Dude, he's been in like some good films. Yeah,
Okay.
like Point Break,
So,
Predator 2.
Point Break. Okay, well,
Predator 2.
let's Predator 2. I love Predator 2, but I don't know that I can assign him as being like a good actor in it.
No, he's not a good actor at all.
24 hours, I think, or 48 hours.
Yeah, 48 hours.
Yeah, is pretty great.
That's
Nick Nolte.
is Nick Nolte.
Oh, fuck.
You can always confuse Nick Nolte.
You're
right. You can always confuse.
Well,
the
that's
two.
That guy in
Always.
Lethal Weapon 1.
That proves my point even more.
Yeah, I even
Exactly.
agreed to it. Then I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't
Yeah,
sound
no,
right.
okay.
Gary,
He's always been a big, crazy weirdo.
The first time I saw him was in Under Siege.
There we go.
I thought,
Fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
he's just like
A
he's
big,
just gonna
crazy
be like
weirdo.
a crazy weirdo,
Yeah.
and that's all I know him as.
If Gary Busey in the previous movie we reviewed came out during that like little city scene, like where the insane people were, like you would be like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary Busey's the king of the Gymkhana or crazy people.
Damn right.
To me-
He probably would be.
To me, Gary Busey's always been just a meme, just a wild guy. Ah.
Yeah, he is. He's a living meme.
Yeah.
Joke from American Dad where he gets drunk. He's like, "Yeah, this is how I do all my stunts. Let's get drunk and go limp and do all your stunts."
Get drunk and go limp. My Thanksgiving weekend, Lamar.
It's a
Thank
great
you.
episode. That's how you do all your stunts. That's how you do it. Just get drunk and go limp.
Lorna at this time calls Daddy, who is Jimmy Dean. He doesn't believe any of this and hangs up. We then get a hard cut to Mom, who is just walking around with a now almost empty bottle of Jack Daniels. And she sees a rat. Is that what? Yeah. Mom sees.
She
the
wants
rat.
to shoot the rat. Yeah.
So she gets a gun. She's loaded in two ways, in the gun and off the booze. And then we hear a couple snickers and giggles, and it's Millard as the Gingerdead Man.
Yeah, and we get the classic "I'm going to quit drinking" gag.
Yeah. That's the end of that. That's what she says as she puts down the bottle.
There's Scooby-Doo music playing in the background, too. It kind of sounds like dee-dee-dee-dee.
And this is a very classic Gingerdead Man line. Ever try ladyfinger? As he cuts off the mom's finger.
Yeah.
Nice.
She doesn't like it.
No, but it's okay.
My next note is, it was a man, a gingerbread man. Does someone say that?
Wait. My next note is, the mom eventually says that. She does say that later.
Okay, that's what it was.
I think she calls out that it's Millard right away.
Does
she not?
Well,
I don't know.
She comes to, and he immediately says, "Maybe you should stop drinking, you lush." Mm-hmm. And that's like harsh. She just cut off her finger. So the mom, who is Betty, I think this is the first time I actually learned her name. Betty does know it's Millard, and I think she's wondering where Julia is.
No,
she arrives.
Yeah, she comes so Julia's supposed to take her home. She escapes out the back to come back to the store. And
Is
then
she the maybe Hispanic one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Julia shows up being like, "Oh no, she snuck out the back, and now I have to find the mom, or else Sarah will get mad at me."
Yeah.
And then she gets clobbered.
And this is where the mom is talking to Julia. She's like, "I was attacked by this man, a gingerbread man."
Yeah.
I mean, we're moving fast now. There's a lot of things happening. Foghorn Leghorn shows up in his car.
Well,
and
so when Julia comes, she gets smacked in the back of the head.
And then he turns into
gets
a
knocked out
big
immediately.
fucking cookie.
Yeah.
With big cherries on her nipples.
With big cherry tits, yeah.
I wrote cherries on the nipples because it was very bizarre. And
oh my God.
Well, where are you going to put them cherries?
Oh, he only did that so he can say, "What's up, sugar tits?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson's in this movie.
We also get a lot of bonding moments at this point in time. Sarah and Lorna start bonding, and Sarah's like, why, I know you're really tough and like you're trying to come at me, but like we're in a situation. And then they were like, Lorna's like, "Listen, I'm gonna give you some advice. Like, I get really defensive when you're trying to like flirt with my man. Amos is my man." And she's like, "Oh, are you serious?" She's like, "No, I'm not serious, but I'm serious when people flirt with my man." And she's also like, he basically does what I tell him to do. Like, this guy isn't forever. I'm just playing him. This is how I'm in all relationships. But you should learn from me. Like, we could bond like sisters. Like, that's kind of how they're talking. Like, we could be more friends. But it's very clear Lorna...
You could be a giant bitch like me.
Yeah, it's very clear like Lorna could be like, you could be my subservient. But like, we could bond that way.
Does no one think to leave the bakery?
I was just about to mention they
Like,
could leave
how
at any
dare
time.
you?
Do that.
You're not locked in.
What are you talking about? What are you guys
So they don't have the budget to leave the bakery.
No, we got the one scene.
But they are still on the mission to capture this guy.
They do want to capture
This little guy.
They run outside at one point. So when the father shows up, when Jimmy Dean shows up,
Yeah, the father.
he gets out of his car, and the Gingerdead Man gets in the car, and using a
My
rolling
favorite
pin
scene of the movie.
for like pushing
driving
gas pedals.
the rolling pins.
Yeah, just runs them the fuck over.
Like short round.
Yeah. So at some point they do come out to see this, and then they go, I believe, right back inside.
Well, at this point in time, they do split up again, and Amos and Sarah start bonding.
Again, how big is this bakery that they're splitting up?
Well, I think because Lorna wants to leave, she's kind of throwing a little fit.
They should all be leaving.
Well, yeah. They can outrun a gingerbread man, I think. So.
Oh yeah, easily. He doesn't know where they're at.
He's got tiny little legs. Yeah.
It's not like the
Dude,
sex
this
demon
is
from
exactly
Follows.
like Demon Knight. Like, as soon as I saw this little fucking gingerbread man hop out of this oven, I would have been on a bus, on a cab, an Uber, whatever, and I would have been in the next state, like before this movie was ever done filming.
I hear you, Jeremy. I would have been like dialing that Uber and like like I would have been like reserving it at the 2 blocks. I would be running towards that Uber. So when it got there, I would simultaneously be getting into it. And I'd just be like, yes, I did pinpoint we were driving out of the city in Staines.
Yeah. At no point would I be like, I should get this fucking and get on Fallon tonight.
So the reason you
Capture
can't
this
go
little son of a
outside,
bitch.
the reason you can't go outside is because when Lorna goes outside, she finds her dead dad and then immediately steals a ring from his corpse.
She's
Yeah.
not really torn up. Well, she's
She
bad
pretended to be.
acting
Yeah.
torn up about it.
She does say like, "I'll miss you, Dad."
Yeah.
It is terrible. I
was
almost
touching.
vomited. Oh my god.
And then,
I thought that was where the acting shined in this movie.
God
and
damn.
then this is where Amos and Sarah find Julia all whipped creamed up. And this is my favorite part because they kind of just hose her off and put a blanket on her, and they're like, "She's fine. She's not.
Yeah, right.
She doesn't have a concussion.
She got a good
She's just in
creaming,
shock.
but
Yeah.
She'll be fine." And they just like they leave her on this cold floor with a thin blanket, and she's like spazzing out. And
She
they're
probably
like, "She's
felt
fine."
warm. She was covered in like whipped cream and like cake batter, and
I think they hosed her off or something.
Yeah, something mentioned about her not getting hypothermia, so they put her on the floor and like she'll gradually get her body up to
Yeah, that's the way that
speed.
works.
I don't know what the fuck.
well,
whatever.
during this time, it's really nice because we do get a little more backstory about Sarah, and I know that's what everyone wanted in this film. Not Gingerdead
More
Man,
lore.
but you know Sarah's, how she's doing, checking in, like I'm on a social profile. And Amos is like, like, what's up, girl? Like, how did you know that she's only unconscious but not dead? And she's like, well, I've been taking night classes at the local community college, and I've been learning all sorts of stuff, and maybe I'll one day become a nurse. He's like, hey, no, girl. You can become a doctor. You can become a surgeon. You're smart, girl. And she's like, oh, my God, I am smart, and this guy's a dreamboat. I'm gonna say that just out of one.
That's literally how it fucking shakes out, dude. Like he's not even exaggerating. If you, oh my god, this would be so fucking bad.
Amos is the perfect man.
Well, I don't think
Yeah.
they
You
said
say
that,
Amos
but
is
that's
the
what-
perfect man.
I mean, in this world, for sure.
in this
he's
world. Yeah,
He's
that's-
the bad boy with a heart of gold.
Yeah, he doesn't say I think he always says the correct thing
Yeah.
basically to, get Sarah to dig him a little bit more.
He's got a sweet eyebrow ring. He's got a gun.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
kind of a bad boy, but he's sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He believes
He's
in her
got a
dreams
6-round
and wants her to
revolver
succeed.
that shoots fucking 400 bullets.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he has got a mixed CD in his car of new metal.
Oh, 100%. Those shorts are definitely listening to new metal.
That 2 years ago, he probably like had those like big black like bulky pants.
The Jinkos.
No,
yeah,
was
it's
it post?
Jinkos.
Was it Jinko or was it post Jinko? Oh, but this doesn't matter.
No,
But
yeah.
they're fucking ridiculous.
What's amazing is there's literally only like 8 minutes left in this movie
That's
now.
correct.
Yeah, so Lorna walks back in and she gets slashed in the face. And this is my favorite part because if you have closed caption on, which I always have to do because these things are impossible to understand, this is where satirically dramatic orchestral music pops up. And
That's what it's
That's
at?
what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, the self awareness of the music at least was
Gingerdead
notable.
Man also gets a nice quip in. How about a facial?
Nice.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, golf clap.
And then this is where the rat. Next up is where the rat's acting chops really come into play.
Yeah.
As Gingerdead Man argues with a rat.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? The rat's there, Gingerdead Man's there. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna.
What the rat?
And
Just
the
threatening a rat.
rat fucking kicks his ass too.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of all the, I was gonna say all the people, out of all the things to give Gingerdead Man a bit of a struggle, that rat is relentless, and you've got to give props to that rat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Lorna's walking around and she's pretty slashed up. She's now like they're gonna think I'm a freak.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, they
freaking
will.
out. I think she calls Amos ugly or something.
Oh yeah. She's like, it was something like he's like it's really not that bad, and he's just like it doesn't matter because you're ugly.
Yeah, that's what it
Her
was.
true colors.
Her true colors are shining now.
Her true colors that we saw all along.
That's true.
Her true colors became truer.
She's wearing them on her sleeve, and now they're sleevier.
I like that at some point in time. Oh wait, she's about to get super dead. She like leaves. Oh, she tries to leave, sets off a trap, and a knife goes right into the back of her head.
I think it's the front of
Or
her
the
head.
front of her
Yeah,
head.
she gets stabbed in the
I
face.
just, I just wrote, she's super dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that booby trap worked at all.
Nope. No one does.
But now that she set it off, all the rest could probably go through that door.
Yeah.
Probably.
She took one for the team.
Well, they find the mother in the oven, which kind of takes the wind out of their sails a little bit.
yeah. Well, so Sarah's also yelling and taunting and just like randomly shooting.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of shit talk.
Oh, Amos is randomly shooting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, part of Amos's appeal is that he is an incredible detective because they found that one finger and he immediately inferred that it was pointing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played a lot of Resident Evil, apparently.
Okay. So well, actually, let's go with Amos's positives. One, he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Two, hell of a motivator. I mean, his motivation of you could become a doctor because you're smart, girl. I mean, that's genius.
Oh, girl.
So, three, world's greatest detective, like effing Batman over here.
Oh, yeah.
And four, he's got a magic gun that never runs out of bullets.
Yeah.
Ever.
Never.
Ever.
God.
Ever.
That
running
gun.
out of bullets. So this guy's the whole package. You're right. He's the perfect man in this world, Colin. I doubted you, but you sold me. His ruggish ways,
He's Mad Mardigan, man.
they're great.
Yeah.
So the finger he finds, it's pointing to the oven where the mom is trapped.
Right.
And they
was a
open
clue.
the
It was a
door.
good clue.
It was a good clue.
It was.
They open the door and then they all go into
Yeah,
the
everyone
oven
just goes into
with
the oven.
the closable door.
I don't know if you knew this. I just sometimes take naps in ovens like that.
Yeah.
I
Like,
didn't.
Yeah.
To
It's
hell,
warm in there.
to hell with caution. Sometimes I just want to lay on a floor of ash and what smells like burnt, and
Bird
just
flesh.
see what happens.
It might just smell like cookies in there.
It might, but who
And-
knows?
Unless you
And
burn a
mom.
body in there before.
Cookies and mom.
Yeah.
No, just like the way Mom used to make with herself.
Yeah. Well, but they do somehow get mom out of the oven. They don't all get locked in
I
there
think
as
Amos
like we're
drags
all
her out.
expecting. Yeah.
But one stays in because they all went in there. Amos drags her out, but Sarah's trapped in,
Yeah, I think so.
and the door closes behind her.
Well, the Gingerdead Man kicks Sarah into the oven
Yeah.
and knocks out Amos with a small pipe.
Right. And takes the gun.
Yes.
And this thing is 1 foot tall.
Yeah. The scenes where he's brandishing the gun were amazing.
They were, or any scene where he's just running around or whatever. There's very few, and there's very few scenes of him just up close and personal, the Gingerbread Man. But they're really just fascinating. It's not. I don't know if you can use CGI as
Lamar,
a
you're
term
just,
or
you're just too
puppetry.
nice.
No, this movie is made on pure magic alone.
I want to say it's a lot of puppetry that's kind of nightmarish if you look at it too close up.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. So yeah, the Gingerdead Man does get the gun, but Amos gets it back because he comes to and the gun's next to him. So because he put a wedge in front of that kiln oven, so Sarah can't get out. But Amos comes to and the gun is a foot away from him, and he for a second just goes bang and shoots like the wedge out from the door, so Sarah can now leave.
Oh,
I thought he shut the door handle and just magically opened.
I
maybe.
thought what happened is
You're
that he
probably
basically
right.
took like a pipe
Either
or a
result.
screwdriver and like wedged it down into the door.
Oh, okay,
And I
cool.
think he shot whatever was wedging it out, so then Sarah could open the door
That
again.
makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
he gets the gun because the maybe Hispanic chick from earlier comes to, cleans them cherries off her titties, and brains the Gingerdead Man with like a
With a
cast iron
frying pan.
Yeah.
Oh, she gets the revenge with the flying pan?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So with this, somewhere in all this, the Gingerdead Man does get the upper hand. He's about to shoot all of them, but Brick jumps back
Yeah.
in.
Butcher Baker back on
Yeah.
the scene.
So here's
wearing his little
He
wrestling
must have
outfit.
lost WrestlePalooza because
Well,
he's back now.
Well, here's a big twist here because you guys were like, how big is the location here? He said, I drove past and I saw what was happening through all the windows.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
like the back, I would assume the kitchen would be in the back and not the storefront. So he was just driving around randomly the back of the place.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's a
I
weirdo.
noticed that mom wasn't out front shooting the shotgun off, so I thought something was amiss. I decided to check things out.
I also like that he's wearing goggles during all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, elbow pads.
Yeah.
This is my favorite scene because he jumps in, Rick just shows up, Gingerbread Man sees him and goes, "What the fuck?" This is my favorite scene.
Got now it's time to meet your maker. Prepare to face the butcher baker. For tonight, your ass is toast.
Ah, shit. That
And,
is
you know,
exactly what he says.
I
Thank
know
you, Colin.
I know he didn't have the full context, but what he does to remedy the situation is literally the last thing that I would have done.
Well,
in
I do
this
want to note
situation.
that this is where Millard, the Gingerdead Man, does shoot off about 20 rounds
Thank
from
you.
a revolver.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
noticed it didn't move at all.
Hits no one.
The
you
chamber
have
didn't
a-
move at all.
I mean,
He doesn't-
he is a
he's a
1
foot
foot tall
tall.
cookie.
Well,
He probably weighs
I mean,
3
he cannot
pounds.
handle that fucking
Well, here's the thing.
firepower,
When
man.
you have a magic gun, you just never stop shooting, which he
Yeah.
kind of did. You just think you would hit someone in close proximity like that, but he does not.
That's unfortunate.
But then Brick pins him, and no one knows what to do. So, like a real man, Brick eats him.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah,
I would
why
have done
wouldn't you?
literally anything else.
Yeah. You had him
Well,
pinned.
that
Yeah.
doesn't turn out to be good. And
Well-
the best part, after he eats him, he goes, "Got milk."
And then the next scene is him drinking some.
Yeah. Also, when he eats it, it's like a jelly donut, and it's so fucking gross.
Yeah, it's like the blood is of
Yeah.
the Gingerdead Man.
Also, we just saw a movie about a gingerbread man. We saw a movie about Gary Busey. Let's just note that. And we saw a
Yeah,
movie
this
about
is,
Gary Busey turning into a gingerbread
biography.
cookie. And then we saw him wield a gun and do crazy things. And I was led through that fantastical path. But what I cannot believe, and where fantasy ceases, is that Julia is into Brick whatsoever. And I wrote that on the side. Julia is super into Brick. I'm not buying it whatsoever.
He just saved her ass.
I still don't believe
And
it.
you know what? I think if any character was going to eat the Gingerdead Man, it should have been Brick, because it was his fucking blood in the first place that started
Yeah,
this whole
that's
mess.
true.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that jelly substance was the blood.
I
didn't
heard
think
this
about
in a
that.
song before, and the Colin brings this up, and this is kind of interesting. Round around, what goes around comes around.
Don't bring me into this.
Colin texted me that under the table, so I want all of you to know that. Mom Betty comes to and is very confused about all of this. Oh my heavens! Oh my muffins! Where are my scones? Where are my scones?
Oh shit, we've totally missed on how infrequently we've said muffin this entire episode.
Yeah, it's been very not at all, really.
Fuck.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Well,
We should have.
so she calls this guy a muffin and kicks him into the to the oven.
Whoa. Brick is possessed. We now
Oh, yeah,
know.
no, Brick is definitely
Yeah, he's Busey.
And you can tell because his eyes are all caved in and black.
Yeah. If you didn't know about the demonic voice and saying weird stuff, he turns around and looks like a deadite real
He does
quick.
look like a deadite.
Yeah, so he's super possessed. And so this is kind of an interesting band together. Everyone goes outside. They realize Jimmy Dean is dead. Sarah goes back in to get Brick, and that's when she finds out he's possessed. And then Sarah knows it's Millard. And then they all have to band together and knock him down. So everyone attacks, screams all at once. And I think that's when everyone rushes him and shoves him into the oven kiln.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
They're like, it's Millard time. And then they shove him in the oven.
Nice.
And then we got, he's dead. I mean, so we think.
I mean, they didn't have
Poor
to
Brick.
burn him alive, but they chose to.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was an option that was available to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. These casually just sat there and listened to him just scream, and they're just sitting there, and the oven door entry is like, and then kind of his face in the next scene.
I want to see the scene later that night where they have to explain any of this to a police officer.
Yeah, they're all going to jail.
100%.
No, there's no police in this town.
I
It's
think
Texas.
I mean, they would have
Listen,
gotten the mom
sure.
like earlier in the night, you know?
Yeah.
Like she's
I-
firing off.
Yeah,
I
she's
think-
finding nothing. Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think
Jeremy.
the police would buy this.
Self-defense.
It's Texas, sure. Why
No, the
not?
gingerbread man, everything. Just like the whole thing.
They were just going to be completely honest.
This movie's all about drugs.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you can manipulate your situation at any point in time. I told La-Mar before, with enough drugs, anything is
That's
possible.
true. You actually mention that daily. And you know what? That's kind of right.
Yeah, I think the quote was, with enough drugs, anything is possible.
That's true. That's true.
And the cops would know that. Well, the next scene you guys are noting is a huge time jump, and it's the bakery's successful. Everything's doing great. Jimmy Dean is dead, so he doesn't buy out the bakery and make this fancy eatery, Sarah. I was going to make a fancy eatery.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. So somehow that just rockets the bakery that Sarah works at to become the most successful place in town.
There's no competition across the
Well,
street.
there's no competition right now because that eatery doesn't exist. And she's failing.
Everybody's clamoring for baked goods all of a sudden. I don't know.
I read in the... So, Sarah, I read in the newspaper Jimmy Dean's dead, and I was like, God damn, I need to buy some scones.
That's exactly what
Dude, my notes right here. My notes say the next day serving gingerbread cookies. The end. Thank you.
Wait. I
That's how
got
you do
some
it.
other questions. Okay. So we don't know this kind of time jump, but so the bakery is ultra successful. Betty is 100% better. These people, these nurses are hanging around and they're like, wow, have you seen that? That's Betty. They're like, yeah, she stopped drinking. She looks amazing. That's really great. And some kid comes around. He's like, hey, you got gingerbread cookies? And so here's what happens. The nurses who are standing around. Okay, let me backtrack. The nurses are standing outside of the bakery because they're now selling cookies in front of the bakery. That seems weird. Let's sell a bunch of cookies outside. But okay, I'm going to buy
Bake
that.
sale kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it for a second. So the nurses are just hanging around. And this kid asks for some gingerbread. And the nurses are like, oh, actually, someone dropped this off. Why do they have this package? Why did they accept it? How long have they been holding on to it? What is going on? So the nurses then are like, hey, and they open it up. And there's a bunch of gingerbread men, and they open their eyes. And that's the end. And then on my screen it said Gingerdead Man 2, Bakery of Blood up next. And
Which confused the shit out of me because when you look it up, the subtitle of Gingerdead Man 2 is not the Bakery of Blood.
Right.
So what's going on? Is there a whole other sequence of Gingerdead Men that we don't even know about?
multiverse.
Yeah.
Oh
They
my
multiversed it.
God.
There's 6 people in the world that know what you're talking about, Collin.
And I hope they're all
And
listening.
5 of them
I hope they're all
Soup sucks.
reviewing the movie right now.
I really
The
do
one
hope
weird
this
fan.
pops up.
I love the new Spider-Man, like across and into the multiverse movies. But I think they're going to get sued. I think this guy's going to be like, I created the multiverse, and that's why I have all these Gingerbread Men films. Yeah. Well, before we jump into all the amazingness of this film, as always, feel free to reach out to us, rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com. Is there a movie you'd like us to watch and hear our weird ranting critiques about? Maybe a shot glass could go your way. It's going to be a new year. We have some suggestions that we'll definitely be doing into that new year, so just let us know. This was a suggestion, and I appreciate those suggestions, so let us know. We'll send something along your way. If not, through Gmail, rabbittroopsucks.com. You can see pictures of us. You could see fun, interesting things. You can listen to some of the audio, etc. And visit our merch links. We have t-shirts and shower curtains, as we keep telling us. The world needs shower curtains, please.
It does.
Feel free, buy 2 and donate 1 to those who want Rabbit Troop Sucks shower curtains. Or hit us up on Instagram or Facebook or any of those things. Yeah, again, my friend Paul, who Jeremy also knows, suggested this movie. So this movie's bonks. How did you guys like Gingerdead Man? I think it's the first time I said it correctly.
No, Paul. No, shout out to your friend Paul.
Hey.
Thank you for recommending this. I would have done the same thing. Honestly, if I have not seen this movie before, be like, hey, I like this podcast. I want you guys to review this Gary Busey movie.
I mentioned about a month ago this film, and La-Mar did say, he's like, this seems like a movie we should be watching. And I agreed.
Yeah, unfortunately we did. And, well, yeah, I don't have much to say about this movie. It's 70 minutes, so yeah, I'll give it that. That extra sting of 20 minutes that you get from another movie that makes it feel long, you won't feel that here.
The opening credits are literally 6 minutes.
Those 6 minutes. Did anyone time those credits? It felt like 6 minutes.
I thought it was literally like 3 minutes. I think I did go back.
So there's like 5%
too
of the
long.
movie right there. That and
The ending credits.
my God, a lot of bad acting in this. This movie is it's the Gingerdead Man. That's all I'll say about this movie.
Would you watch any more of the series?
No,
I'm really wondering how long the other movies are.
I've actually skipped through a little bit. Like I skimmed through Gingerdead Man 2, and it didn't look like it was going to be for me.
Is
So
Gary
I
Busey
cut it.
still the voice actor?
No.
And any of them?
Thank God Lamar did
I don't
that
know.
because
He wasn't in the second one, but I wasn't going to look through the cast listing of the other 400
You said he was not
movies.
in the second
He
one?
was not.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's done with that. He took his check and ran. I would welcome anybody else's comments about this movie.
This movie is a huge train wreck. As I said, it being, as Lamar noted, 70 minutes. If you take away those opening and ending credits, that is kind of a big sale for me on this film. Not that anyone should really be watching it, but it is pretty short and sweet.
yeah, it's like an hour long.
Yeah, so like even though if like something's like not really good, you're not gonna get super invested. It was a low budget film, so that is a sale. But good God, like the acting is atrocious. Gary Busey like is incoherent in areas. It's kind of off the wall. But yeah, this movie is not the gingerbread cookie you want to start off the season with, but there are some fun things, and if you want to kind of waste an hour, definitely worth watching. Maybe I'd watch another one somewhere in the multiverse of the Gingerdead Man, some other one of these films.
You have to be intoxicated for that. Inebriated a little bit.
I'm going back to
I feel like
Trancers,
Jesus.
that franchise at some point.
Okay.
The second one's only an hour and 10 minutes as well.
That's how they get you.
It is how they get you.
That's how they get you.
So, I'm just looking up the second one. The voice actor for the Gingerdead Man is listed like 17th, and he also doubles as the makeup effects guy.
Ooh,
That tracks.
So what I'm getting here is like they really wanted Gary Busey. No.
yeah.
The Buse?
The Buse is loose.
So I can guarantee you, if you were to somehow corner Gary Busey on a coherent day and ask him about this movie, he will have absolutely no recollection of it.
No.
I bet
Like,
he
none
would challenge you
whatsoever.
to a game of cornhole, friend.
right then
But
and
it's-
there.
What he means when he says cornhole is different than what we
Exactly.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think for the second one they wanted Gary Busey, and at the last minute he said no, and the makeup guy was like, ladyfinger, and they're like, you know what, you're in, buddy. Will you do this for cocaine? Yeah, great.
Get you from beyond the grave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beyond the grave.
Colin, how amazing was this film for you?
Yeah, on a scale of 9 to 10.
I think I'm with Lamar that I would rather not watch any more of these. I appreciate the suggestion, and I definitely regret watching it, but I don't regret watching a movie that was suggested.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to add.
You wouldn't even get into the Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong series.
Yeah, so it's like, for all of like, living in Colorado, I'm not really into a whole lot of the weed movies. Although, as I say that out loud, and then I'm thinking of all of the weed movies that I kind of think are hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, I would try to not. What do you think, Jeremy?
Yeah, this movie was horrible. I'm still really confounded on how this man, what's his name?
Charles Band.
Yeah, how he directed 85 pieces of work.
Very careful.
Because
Doing them quick.
I mean, honestly, like I would love to see where this guy lives. Like, what kind of house is he living in
What kind of car does
in
this guy
California?
drive?
You know? Like, I mean, if
Jeremy,
I
are
mean,
you
I just
inviting?
cannot
Are you
imagine-
inviting ourselves over? Because that seems awesome. I bet he lives in a cool house.
I mean, does he? I mean, how can this man be making money off movies like this? Like, it's crazy.
I
Like,
bet
this
this
is
man has
ludicrous.
one of two things: a pool table or a video game that has a pool table.
He has a 3 seasons room with a pool table in it. That's his claim to fame.
I bet this guy's got season 4 of Scrubs on DVD, and he would sit down and watch it with us.
Wow.
Season 4 is a good season.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, if you kind of wanted to watch a movie like Gingerdead Man and you didn't really have any strong preference, just go watch a Puppet Master movie. That has little things running around murdering people, and it has,
And this director.
yeah, the same director. It has way better story and
Like
graphics, dialogue,
this guy has
writing,
this guy's
direction,
made his
music.
living off like fucking drug infused frat house film night. Like
Yeah.
that's who's watching these movies.
Sure.
And I've seen Puppet Master. It's horrible too. I mean, it
Get the
is.
fuck out of here.
So,
He was the producer of Bad CGI Gator.
Is that what it's called?
That is
Bad CGI Gator.
Yep.
Not Gator with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, not Lake Placid.
His upcoming project as a director is Bride of the Head of the Family.
Wow. That's too many words.
it's too
Yeah.
many.
Well, it seems amazing.
Yeah.
It was following the events of the original film. It's a sequel, of course.
Of course
This
it
guy's got so many franchises.
Is the original the fiance of the head of
Carnage
the
Collection.
family?
He's a world builder, you know? He's got all these ideas.
Okay, I saw what La-Mar was noting. Evil Bong 888 Infinity High.
Wow.
I see.
When he's
Infinity.
finally given a chance to go legit by opening a restaurant, Rabbit, series regular Sonny Carl Davis can't stop himself from Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know what's going
Is
on.
that the last one? Is there a 999?
It's only 59 minutes in length.
That's a good
They
amount.
got
That's
shorter.
crazy.
Yeah.
There you go, man. This guy makes his money off hour-long feature films.
So if this director, on top of all these weird franchises, also director in famous TNA too.
TNA.
Now we're getting
Yeah.
into something.
Yeah. Like tits and ass.
Wait a
TNA.
minute.
Yeah.
Famous TNA 2.
Two. And it's got a 7.2, which is higher than his other
No,
movies.
because it has titties in it. I guarantee
And
it.
it's longer than his other films at an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, he finally made it to the 90-minute mark, huh?
90 minutes of TNA is
This
definitely-
movie almost had titties in it, but they were covered by whipped cream and cherries. So
I think
fuck
she
this
was
movie.
she was actually dressed underneath the whipped cream.
You know,
Because she never changed clothes
Yeah,
when they
I
wiped
agree.
it all off.
Oh,
she
yeah,
was
that's
wearing
Now
the
I hate
same
this
clothes.
movie even more.
yeah,
That was the deal breaker for you.
it was rated R. I don't
Let me
know why
have
they didn't
this.
just throw that in there.
Yeah, throw us a bone.
You already got the R rating, just a
Yeah.
little titty, just a little bit. It was 80, 85. Might as well just throw that in there.
Oh my God, he's one of the directors in Dungeon Master. Oh, I think I noted this before. I'm so excited. We're definitely doing Dungeon Master at some point in time.
Dungeon Master.
what year
forgot
is
Richard
that?
Mole.
Oh my goodness, yes.
What year is that from?
The 80s.
Dungeon, yeah.
So like,
And this is a 90s movie now that I think about it.
what's a 90s movie?
This one.
No, this is 2005.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
right.
man. Dungeon Master
Wow.
was 84. Transfers was 84. Wow. Well, you could tell we all are having some fun with this director, one way or another. Like, yeah, although this movie's kind of a clunker, Paul, thanks again for the suggestion and all this.
Thank
We had a
you.
lot of fun going through it. Even though, when movies aren't going our way, like, I know, even in my notes, I'm like, we definitely are going to have a lot to talk about in these films.
Oh, for sure.
Well, 'tis the season, everybody, starting off with Gingerdead Man, that we're going to go into a movie I did not think we were going to do on this podcast, honestly, ever. But Colin's not seeing this film led us into a direction that we could appreciate. And next week, to celebrate the holidays, get ready. From 1992, we will be watching and reviewing Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Yay. Those are my last notes. Yay.
Yeah, okay.
How many exclamation marks did you put on there?
I put in 3, and you could see it. It's a good 3.
Very nice. I can confirm that.
Yes. I am very excited to watch Home Alone.
It is actually, I think, besides Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, probably my most anticipated viewing with you guys and reviewing of a movie to date.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. Yeah.
I'm excited. Jeremy, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's Home Alone too. You know, you got Macaulay in there. Donald Trump makes an appearance. I mean,
He's
It's a
lost in New
personal-
how
York.
could you not like it?
It's a personal favorite holiday movie for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a classic, top 5 for me.
And just remember, Colin's going to learn about the fun.
The father.
The Father.
Yeah. Well, for most of you, you've probably already watched this movie a dozen times before we do our review on this. For Colin, it will be his very first time. So get excited about this. Home Alone 2. Thanks again, Paul, for the movie recommendation. Gingerdead Man. There's a whole series. Yeah. As always, Rabbit Troop sucks.
Rabbit Troop sucks.
Yeah.